welcome to Kitchen Basics 101, where I teach you the bare bone basics if you've never cooked a day in your life from the perspective of mom. I don't know what it is. I'm just feeling so tired and cranky today. I don't know why. I've been violently craving just like a super simple beef stew, and everyone in my comments who watched the Lipton onion soup sour cream dip was like, you have to try the beefy onion. And I know I say all the time that I don't like onion, and I don't, but like, it's stew. There has to be, but I'm going to try to do it the shortcut method without making a mirepoix, without doing braising the veggies, without any of that. Just super simple. I'm also going to do a red wine variation with this today. So I've got about like 2.5 pounds of chuck roast, basically chopped up into bits. I bought this at Costco. They sell it as a stew meat. I'm going to generously salt and pepper. And someone remind me, I need to get some already ground pepper. Because in a dish like this, where you need a tablespoon of pepper, I'll be back. Salt, pepper, let's do some flour, maybe a little more flour than that, so we can get some thickening. I'm at the end of this flour. Let's do like a 1/4 cup of flour, yeah? Let's give it a little tossy-tossy and mix everything together. Just want to basically coat all the meat in salt, pepper, flour. Now you could have seasoned the flour instead of seasoning it directly on the meat. I just, whatever. It doesn't really matter, okay? We're going to put all of this in to the pan anyways. So we're just going to give everybody a little toss. And this is to get the flour into here, which will help thicken up our end product, like our gravy. But it's also because it's going to help us get a nice crust on the meat, which is going to also develop flavor. So it's like, a twofer. We're basically making a roux. My Dutch oven is just stained. It's not dirty. It's been barkeeper friended. Let's get our Dutch oven scalding hot. Get some olive oil or neutral oil into the bottom here. Let it get super hot. And then we're going to brown off our meat. I don't want it to get crowded, so I'm just going to put enough to cover the bottom of the pan in here. So I'm going to have to do it in batches because I have so much meat here. Now the goal here is not to get anything 100% cooked. We just want to get a little bit of a crust, and more importantly, we want to create a fond on the bottom of the pan, which is going to be lots of crispy bits of flavor that we're going to bring up with some red wine or some beef stock. Once everybody's got a beautiful crust, then we're going to pop it into a heat-safe bowl, and we're going to set it aside to be put back in later. All of our meat is browned and set aside. I'm going to put a smidge more oil in. Not too much, a little bit. I love graza. And we're going to put some crushed garlic. I love this crushed garlic. Comes in the freezer section. So convenient. Each little pre-frozen cube is a clove. So I'm going to put like 4 cloves. And I'm just going to saute this garlic for like less than a minute because my pan's hot. We just want to get it fragrant. And then we're going to go in with our tomato paste. Just going to do maybe like a 1/4 cup, a good squidge of tomato paste. Might as well finish this one off. Cook that tomato paste up just for like a minute till it turns darker in color. This is just to get that raw tinny flavor out of the tomato paste. You can see it turns to a darker red color. Then I have the most gorgeous bottle of red wine. You can forego this for some beef stock. I'm going to do both. So I'm going to deglaze the pan here with like a cup of red wine. This is a really good wine that I got for Christmas, but I'm the only one who drinks wine around here. So I'll use the bottle here, and then I'll have to drink the half a bottle that's left, right? Switched to a wooden spoon, and I changed my heat back up to high. Didn't want to burn my garlic, so I had turned it down. Sorry, that vent might be too loud. So I've turned my heat back up to high or medium high. I'm on the small burner here, so high. And I switched to a wooden spoon so that I could scrape off all these little bits that we created by browning the meat, okay? I want to get that incorporated into our garlic, our tomato paste, and our red wine. If you used beef stock, you could maybe skip this part, but I'm doing half and half beef stock. So for my beef stock, I'm gonna use this roasted beef base from Better Than Bouillon because I just absolutely love it. I think it's so delicious. So I'm gonna put like, probably like a heaping tablespoon of this Better Than Bouillon in. And I'm gonna add water. So basically I'm just making beef stock with the Better Than Bouillon base. How much liquid we have really doesn't matter too much, but we wanna cover the meat. So what I have in right now is 2.5 of my beef stock and or water if you're using the beef base, 1.5 of wine. So that's 4 cups of liquid. And I think that will be enough, but I'll top it with liquid if it's not enough. Now here's the ingredient I've never used before, which is the beefy onion. So I'm gonna put 2 packets, Lipton's beefy onion, 2 packets into our sauce. All right, and then we're gonna stir it up. Put all of our meat back in, including all of the beautiful juices that it gave off while it was resting in the bowl. I'm gonna show you when I pull it out how much juice ends up getting down to the bottom of the bowl, and that's just so much good beefy flavor. We don't want to lose any of that. So, you know, if you put it to the side on a paper plate, the paper plate's going to soak those juices up. So I always use a regular plate or a glass bowl or something like that. But can you see all that juice? Look at all that. And flavor in the bowl there. Gorgeous. So we're gonna put all of that in. Once it comes up to a boil, then we're gonna cover and we're gonna turn it down to low. We're gonna let it simmer for a couple of hours. It's been cooking low and slow for like 3 hours, and I just turned it up because I'm gonna add some veggies. So I'm gonna put some carrots in, and they're cold, so they're gonna steal all the heat away from this. So that's why I turned it up a little so that it would have a chance to get temperature. And I'm gonna go get some potatoes to put in as well. And so I'm gonna do the last hour with the veg in. I love potatoes, so I just cut a bunch of mini potatoes in half. But you can really put any hearty veg in here you want. You could do sweet potatoes. You could do, or you could not do it at all, right? So I'm gonna let this warm up and cover it and let it cook for another at least hour, and then I'll come check to make sure. Okay, if your meat is ever tough, just cook it longer. Look at that. It's absolutely falling apart.